if we are meeting for the first time, nice to meet you. My goal is to help you understand what it takes to get to your first $100,000. I will be talking about entrepreneurship as well as investing in the stock market because that's my field of expertise. So it's a very casual session, right? You can come in and out as you please, or you can do a work in live like I am, right? As I'm talking to you, I'm going to be taking care of some work at the same time answering some questions that you might have. So utilize this time to the best of your liking, and yeah, let's hang out. All right, so today's Wednesday. Yep, happy Wednesday. Eat some cheese here. McBins, what's up, dude? Anthony Wynn, what's up, dude? This is AM3 Win. I was a green shirt in the squadron of the Lincoln deployment. Oh yeah, I remember. It's been a long time, man. It's been like what, 2 years, 2.5 years. Yeah, it's been a long time, man. I'm doing good. I'm in Maryland, right? Kicking it, relaxed. Just try to make the dream a reality, right? Working my butt off, $100 a week. How you doing, man? How should someone generate another stream of income online without much work? That's not going to happen, McBins. Everything takes work. Everything takes constant. It requires your constant attention. This idea of like passive stream of income is not really there. It's only there like when you actually have the skill already fully built. and to actually fully build like a certain skill, it's going to take you like at a minimum 2 years to create something that's going to give you some passive stream of income. Um, I mean, the easiest thing that you could do is start a YouTube channel, right? And that's going to give you some sort of passive income, right? Like I have. But like I said, right? Uh, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, like no matter what, right? Like you still have to put in hours, right? Whether it's 2 hours, 3 hours a day, um, towards building some sort of business or any type of business or investment portfolio, right? That's going to give you some money, right? Like you still have to put in an insane amount of time to get to that point, right? So for example, like my investments, like if I wanted to, can I shift my investment portfolio to a dividend portfolio and get some passive, stream of income for, the rest of the year? Sure, I could. And I invested, well over like $15,000 into my own education, to understand exactly how to do that, right? And I put in hundreds of hours to do just that. To understand how to do just that, right? So that's one way that I could create a passive stream of income. For example, my YouTube channel, right? I have like 600 videos, right? Those make me like $100 or something like each and every single month. I just got paid from Google today. Actually, 21st is actually when they pay. But obviously that comes with me making 600 videos, right? Like putting in the work, and understanding and providing value to the customers, right? You guys. Or sales, right? If I want to grow my business and be able to create some passive stream of income, right? Like I have to understand like how to sell, high ticket products to clients, right? Like I have to understand like how to sell, $10,000 worth of products to somebody, right? And I have to help them understand like why they need it, right? And then I got to train my team, and then my team is going to be able to do that, right? And so that's another like passive stream of income where I have to just, check up on my business, check up on my team that they're doing just that. And so like there's so many opportunities out there. Like there's so many things that you could do. It's like almost endless, right? You can make money from almost anything. It's the matter of just putting in the work, and it takes a tremendous amount of work. Are you LS1 yet? Nope. I'm still second class. Are you still in the Navy? Yep, still in the Navy. I'm in Maryland, in an ASD command over here. Where are you at right now? Tomosaki, what's up, dude? Any information on air? Ryan Rami. What do you mean by air? It could be like air warfare, could be like air department, could be like different aviation rates. Aviation rescue swimmer. Not much information on aviation rescue swimmer. I don't know if they were what I thought they were, but there are like enlisted people that are attached to like helo squadrons, and these enlisted guys typically have a gold, air warfare type rating thing. I think they are like air rescue swimmer type along those lines. I mean, I'm pretty close. But I mean, Win might be able to tell you more. I don't know if that's what they are. I know you're in the squadrons, but yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about them. It seems pretty fun. It's going to take a lot of work, right, to be able to get there. A lot more work than being an LS like me, but yeah, seems like it's going to be a pretty cool gig. That's good to hear. I'm still in Lemoore, but tomorrow is my last day in the Navy. It's a good run, though. Congrats, man. 5 years, right? Are you guys able to hear me pretty well? 4 years. Okay. I don't know how were you able to pull that off? Because I thought it was typically 5 years for the minimum obligation. 4 years active, 1 year extension, or did you get like early out? Let's see. Relax here. Recording. Mm. Okay. All right. I'm a fighter squadron, so we don't have a rescue swimmer. They're attached to helo squadrons. All right. What bases have you been on? Start to finish, there's some type of base in New Jersey that I went to MEPS in. I don't know what the name of that base was. After that, right, I obviously went to boot camp, so Illinois. And after that, went to Meridian, Mississippi, which is a pretty good place for LSA school. I enjoyed Meridian, Mississippi. I went during the summertime, so it was very hot, but still enjoyed that experience. And then I went to Newport News, right, Virginia, for my first command. Not the best place to start your Navy career in a shipyard. And then after that, I went to Norfolk Naval Base, the largest naval base in I don't know if it's in the world or at least in the U.S. And that was a pretty cool experience. That base has some good amenities, right? I lived in the ship, and then I went to after that I went to Coronado Island, where like Coronado is like where the SEALs type of people they train, but I was far away from them. I've seen the SEALs a couple times, but like the Navy SEALs, not like the animal SEALs, although I've seen them. I've seen the Navy SEAL guys within the base that I was at. And I loved Coronado Island. Very good place, very good base. Everything's like very close by. You can walk to a commissary, you could walk to the next, you could walk to the gym, there's a Starbucks. So I enjoyed my time there. Unfortunately, it was during COVID, so there was a lot of restrictions that I couldn't do. So I went to Coronado Island, their base. And then now I'm in the Patuxent River Aviation Base, right? It's one of the it's a very good base. It's a very large base, right? There's very good figures. Yeah, it's a very outdoorsy type area, so I enjoyed where I am so far. So yeah, so I haven't really been to too many bases, but the bases that I've been in, I like it overall. I have a pretty good impression of it. I had a 4-year active contract and 4-year inactive reserves. Nowadays, contracts are a minimum of 5 of the Navy's low retention rate. Yeah, I'm still confused though. Like, how did you pull off a 4-year contract? Because I joined in June 2015, right? And you joined June, 2017. You would have had, because it was a 4-year contract then. Because up until then, like people I know were still getting a 5-year contract. So I don't know if you pulled up some drug deal. Hey, are there any content creators who have content similar to yourself that you recommend? Bully the Blind Girl. Entrepreneur, right? Like um, entrepreneurial type of content. Unfortunately, I haven't seen anybody really. I mean, there are other YouTubers that try to make like finance, investing type of content that are in the military. I personally wouldn't recommend them only because they haven't actually achieved the level of success, right? So, for example, like if I wanted to make a YouTube video of how I went, how to get to $1 million, right? Like it's not going to be a good video because I haven't made $1 million, within my time in the military, right? Like I can only teach you to get to 200K right now, right? From what I did, all the things that I did, and I can tell you in detail because I've spent so much time to heavily understand like exactly what to do. So I haven't seen anybody else, be able to, do that, right? Be able to actually understand how to invest in the stock market. People will just say it like kind of like a rough sprinkle. They'd be like, oh yeah, like when you're in the military, save your money and just invest, right? But like that's easier said than done, right? Like I actually lived it, right? Like I actually lived without a car, lived in the barracks, lived in the ship, walked to places, scraped by, right? Just ate some basic food every single day. And I understand exactly how that feels to be able to tell you like it's difficult, right? It's not easy. So yeah, I mean, there really isn't anybody else that I have seen so far that can make a very good entrepreneurial slash investing while you're in the military type of content. Um, so no, there isn't anybody that I would recommend. People are joining the Navy with ASVAB of 26. I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't have to have a high ASVAB. You just have to be prepared that you're not going to get a good job, right? A good rate in the Navy. You're most likely going to be a undesignated packed seaman or packed airman, and you're kind of starting at the bottom of the totem pole there. I didn't have to pull a drug deal. My rate just had 4-year obligation, and an A school and C school was only 3 months. See, like it's crazy. You got C school as well. Like I didn't get C school. I was supposed to get an NEC, but then COVID hit, and they were basically like, "All right, we're just gonna still give you the NEC and just go to your next command." And I was like, "All right." So I didn't have to extend for that 1 year. Maybe if my school was longer, I would. That's crazy. This is careful, guys. This is a millionaire here. Millionaire in the making, for sure, Bucklau. But currently, no. It's just only a measly 200K person. Do you find much people in the fleet that have the enthusiasm and interest in investing and finances? Of course, everybody's interested in investing in their finances. Everybody has a certain level of interest, right? But the level of commitment actually get off, no, right? It's because would you rather on the weekend, right, read like a couple hundred pages of reports about companies, or would you rather just like but the work of an investor, right, is putting in the work, right? Like when you think about an athlete, an investor is an athlete, right? Entrepreneurs are athletes, right? When you think about athletes, let's say the NFL or the Olympics that are coming up, right? The 1% that you actually see is the Olympics, is the NFL games, right? Of them actually competing and, going for that gold, right? But the other 99%, right, to get to that point is all the training that they have to put in, right? The countless thousands of hours of training they put in just to have that 1 hour of moment of spotlight, right? And that's exactly what investing in the stock market is, right? right? For you to get that 100% return, 200% return, 300% return, be able to come in and out of stocks, be able to get 10 grand, within a couple of months, like just to have that 1 hour highlight, right? It takes thousands of hours of like actually understanding and knowing what you're and that's that level of commitment people don't really have. Only a very small portion of the people actually have. Like, it's not fun, right? For me, like, I'm not passionate about reading every single day. Like, it bores me. Like, I'll read 3 pages and I'll start falling asleep, right? But it's something that I have to do, because the goal of what I want to achieve is a lot greater than the temporary pain of falling asleep. So, Marissa, any advice for reservists? Not really. I mean, you're gonna go to boot camp, you're gonna go to your A school, C school if you get one, and then you kind of go back home, and then you check into a local command every couple, well, once or couple days of the month, and then sometimes get activated. For the Navy, you know, we definitely use some reservists, at least where I am, right? We'll have some reservists come in and they'll do some minor work. But if you're in the, it depends which branch. I don't know if you're in the Navy, but I know in the Air Force, like Air Force reservists, some of them gets deployed and activated pretty often. Army, National Guards. I mean, like that's what my brother was. He got activated a couple times, but I mean, there's not like I don't know if there's a whole lot of opportunity for reservists. To be honest, I personally don't think so, but I might be wrong. Um, Marissa, maybe you'll be the one to make YouTube channels and YouTube videos about being a reservist and showing what's possible. But as much as I could think about it right now, there's not much opportunities for it. Like, do you have a support in the fleet from buddies, or are you doing this all yourself, kind of like real life, I guess? Yeah, like it's no different, right? Like, I mean, when I was like coming up, like I was solo, right? I'm still solo now, technically. The only difference now is that I've spent, $7,500 to be in a membership of a high net worth individuals, um, where I sought out support, right? But back then, like I was alone, right? Like I have buddies, right, coworkers that I work with, but I mean they don't really know what they're doing, right? And when you hang out with people that aren't as committed as you, right, they tend to bring you down, right? So, for example, I was renting a room not too long ago, right? And the gentleman that I was rooming with, his name was like Alex, right? And he would always tell me like, "Hey, man, like you're working too hard, right? Don't work too hard, like enjoy life." Like I've been there, and in my mind, I was thinking like, "You been there, right? You don't actually work hard as I'm doing, right? Because I'm trying to accomplish something massive because I'm hungry and because I want to provide the best life for my parents and my family. But then like his family already has money, right? His parents are already good, right? They're already retired, right? So he's not as driven, right? And he just says stuff that's in his opinion, how I should live, right? And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But just understand, like when you're in the Navy, when you're in the military, it's going to be the exact same case. You're going to be working with people who aren't committed to being financially successful, financially independent, and you just need to hang out with more people like me, right? Like, keep on subscribing, keep on, watching my video, watch my content, because to be honest, like the closer you hang out with people of higher net worth and you start to understand exactly how they think and how they talk, in my opinion, the more money you start to make. Like the people that I work with very closely, every single one of them are six-figure and above. It's just not because like I purposely segregated people from like non-successful people to successful people. It's just that like when you are in a groove of trying to build a business, trying to invest in the stock market at a very high level, and you start surrounding yourself with the right people, like everybody just becomes at a minimum six-figure individuals, right? And so my goal right now with this YouTube channel is to help as much people as possible understand like what they need to do. And so, yeah, I hope that answers your question. I know that was a little bit long rant. But do you see yourself building a business, passive income aside from YouTube? I personally don't really believe in passive income. Like everything requires work, right? Like up front, right? If I want to build a business, let's say I want to build like a barber shop or something, right? Like first I gotta learn how to, either be a barber or hire somebody and own a store, buy all the equipment and all that. Like it takes so much time and energy up front, right? To build a business and build it legitimately and spend a lot of time actually building it to where it needs to go for it to automatically, slowly run, and then it'll generate some type of passive income. And then you still have to check up on it, right? Like, Tim Ferriss has the book 4 Hour Work Week. Like for Tim Ferriss to release that book 4 Hour Work Week, right? He spent 80 hours a week for months, right? To get to the point to release that book. The concept of the, 4 Hour Work Week, the passive income, it's not like it's a fancy thing to say. It's an easy, cool thing to say, but it's actually not practical. Anything that you want to accomplish takes a lot of time and energy, right? So aside from YouTube, right, I have my business that I run. It's at a point where it's nowhere close for it to being passive income, right? Investing, if I wanted to purchase dividend investments, dividend companies, sure, I'll get some passive investments that way, passive income that way. But other than that, I mean, that's really it. I don't really have anything else. One thing I will say, like Bucklow, right? You always want to seek out other pillars of income, right? Always, right? So if I wanted to draw something here, for example. So hopefully you guys will be able to see this. So in the middle, this is what Grant Cardone teaches, taking some Cardone University, Cardone U. This is your job, your job. This is your main source of income, right? And then on the outer layer, right, you need a second source of income. So for me, that's going to be my business that I'm operating. My pen's kind of dying out here. Oh well. So my job comes first, right? That's my primary source of income, right? I put in 40 hours a week, each week for the Navy. And then my business, right? I put in another, right now I'm honestly putting in maybe like 20 hours, 30 hours each week on my business. And then, right, I have another source of income outside, which is YouTube, right? It doesn't make me a whole lot of money, maybe $200 each month. And then outside of that, man, I gotta get another pen. Maybe it's just how I'm writing it, actually. And outside of that, right, like I have my investing, right? So I have my investing, I have my YouTube, I have my business, I have my job, right? Like that's how you actually protect yourself, right? So when COVID hit, right, let's say I didn't have my job, I'm still good, right? Because I have my investments, right? They're going to take care of me. I have my money that I make from YouTube, right? When COVID hit, really everybody was in their house watching a whole lot of YouTube videos, right? Making a whole lot of money, right? I worked with Jeremy from Financial Education, right? To help people get into his private group, private community. And so like if I was not in the military, I would have been good, right? But then unfortunately, right, the other side of the spectrum is people who aren't skilled enough, they only have one source of income, their job, right? Those people are the ones that were affected the most, right? For example, like my parents, right? They have one thing, right, which is they work in dry cleaning, right? And so like obviously they got affected, right? So you always have to constantly build layers on layers, right? Right? You have your job, build a business on the side, right? Go on YouTube, right? Create YouTube videos, learn how to invest. Like there's so many things that you could do, whether you want to be a freelancer, if you can take pictures, right? Maybe be a wedding photographer or videographer. Like there's so many opportunities out there in the world. Like you just have to go out there and actually grab it and actually like, seize the opportunities. The opportunities are endless. Like it's just that people aren't out there actually looking for it. If so, what business? Yeah, yeah, like buckle out. Like I said, like in my opinion, let me turn the fan on here. In my opinion, like if you can get a sales job, learn how to sell stuff. Like I don't know if you saw with the Wolf of Wall Street, um, Jordan Belfort. He's a salesman, right? Like he was played by Leonardo DiCaprio, right? He's a salesman, right? Like if you can learn sales, that's one of the best things that you could do, in my opinion. And I was very fortunate to be, the right circle, the right time, met the right people, and they taught me how to sell. And so I'm a pretty confident, what's called a high ticket closer. Um, and I've been able to fortunately accomplish a lot within a very short amount of time as a high ticket closer. So who you are who your friends are. That's why I want to be very aggressive, be around very aggressive entrepreneurs, right? Like Tomasaki, like it's hard, right, for you in the beginning when you don't have the level of skills, level of knowledge to be around aggressive entrepreneurs, like right from the beginning, right from the start. Because like let's say you are in Maryland where I am, right? Like honestly, like dude, like I can't hang out with you, right? Like the only time like we can actually hang out is if you participate in a live like this, because high aggressive entrepreneurs are actually always doing something, right? Like they're not just like chilling on the weekends playing Call of Duty, right? They're actually always doing something. And unless you're actually adding value to what they're doing, like they just can't, they don't have the time, even though they might be the nicest people in the world, they just don't have the time to actually commit, to being there for you and coaching you and teaching you. So a session like this, right, an hour Monday through Friday, then I'm committing to myself, to you guys, to give you as much value as I can, is a huge thing. So like for like I gotta talk to clients right now, right? Like I have McBins, what's up? Like I have like 300 clients that I have to talk to right now, like literally like right now I gotta talk to, that I'm not doing because I'm talking to you guys, right? And the 7 of you that are in here are more important to me because I really care about you guys than trying to talk to 300 clients to see if they need some help, right? To see if the business that I run, the people that I represent can help them. So yeah, there's a big list of things that I gotta do. Um, do you think that entrepreneurs are born with business skills, or is that a skill that can be learned? It can be learned. 100%. Like I wasn't born with the ability to talk, right? Public speaking. It only came with me creating like 700 YouTube videos, and taking in the criticism that people gave me. Like if you like, I still remember like there's some of my early like viral videos of like people who fought in boot camp. Like people are still watching it even till today. People are like, oh man, get on to the point. This guy sucks at speaking. He sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He sounds like, what's that other actor? Christopher Walken's. Like a lot of criticism, right? It took a lot of understanding like how to speak, how to deliver my message, to explain stuff in a way for you guys to understand, right? To develop public speaking, right? And I took that skill and I became a salesman and working with Jeremy from Financial Education and come with a couple of other influencers to help with their sales process, explaining to clients, right, for them to understand, what investing has done for me and what it can do for them and all that kind of stuff. Um, and now I'm learning really sales and growing a business by working in a startup. So it's purely self-taught, right? And right now, I'm taking two courses actively. One is from a gentleman named Sean Cannell on Think Media. He makes a lot of YouTube videos on YouTube, and his whole YouTube channel is about teaching other YouTubers how to grow their YouTube channel. I spent $3,000 on his course, right? His coaching program, and the other course I'm taking right now is from Grant Cardone for Cardone U, which is not cheap at all with that. And so yeah, all that, right, is for me to learn the skills that I need. Um, so because I don't have like a mentor per se, right? Like I don't have somebody that's super successful that I can leech off of. So if I don't have that, I gotta cough it up out of my own pocket. Plan on starting a chocolate factory while active duty. Interesting. And hopefully make it able to pay all my bills one day working a full-time job. Is that a good plan? Honestly, McBins, I don't think it's going to be a good plan because, when I think about a chocolate factory, right, I'm thinking about you are competing against Hershey, right? And Hershey already has a huge opportunity, right? And I mean, not to say it's not possible. Like you could start small. Like the biggest thing, right? If you want to start any business, start small, right? Like whether that's selling like edible fruits to your local Facebook group page or something like that. Herrera, what's up, dude? Right? Like start small. Like literally what I said. Like sell within your local Facebook group, right? Like edible, like chocolate dipped, like strawberries or pineapples or apples or whatever the case may be. Sell fruit baskets like that, right? Start small, make money that way. Like don't go at this like full force, guns blazing from the very beginning. Like that's exactly how you fail, right? So when you say like, oh, I'm gonna start a chocolate factory from the very beginning, it's like, no, man, like that's super hard. Like to actually run a chocolate factory, like I don't know if you have the experience to run a factory. Like I don't, but I would hope like you understand like Hershey's business model. Like, have you read through like Hershey's 10K, 10Q, and participated in their conference calls? Because if not, like that's the place for you to start right now, right? Like under reading their 10Ks. Mainly plan on selling online. Yeah, yeah, that's where you start, man. Like start small and then scale, right? Don't try to go guns blazing in the like people who want to start a YouTube channel, right? They think they need like fancy cameras and all crazy equipments and a video editing software. Like no, you don't. There's so many people with millions of subscribers and all they did was maybe like do a point and shoot one take on their phone. Like I still use my phone. Like I started with an iPhone 5C. Now I have Samsung Galaxy 8 Plus, which is still outdated even to today. And then the screen's up, it's all cracked. My laptop's all cracked, the screen of it too. And so start small. One, two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, huh? All right. Well, everybody, thanks for hanging out with me today on Wednesday. I'm still going to continue this on for another 20 minutes here, but just want to stop by. Thank everybody. Right, if you can take some time to press that like button up there or down there, depending on how you're watching it, what device and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, if you don't mind, I'm going to start, since it's died down with some of the questions. I'm going to start getting at it with my work here. Jody, I don't know if Jody, are you still here? I don't know if you are, but one of the things that I am doing now, right, is learning a lot about Facebook organic reach opportunities. That's something that I didn't really realize how to do, or if there was an opportunity that way. But Facebook organic reach is actually huge. I've been learning a lot about that. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Hangout session. Budding inbound sales specialist, huh? question though, what skill, right, do you guys want to develop while you are in the military, right? Like, is it investing? Is it growing a business? Or is it something else? Like, what skills would you guys like to develop? Investing. Devin R. How to get the most of your enlistment bonus? Getting the most of your enlistment bonus, you really can't. Like, it's pretty much set, Bucklow. Like, for example, if you get, let's say, a 4-year contract, right, and you get an enlistment bonus like $10, that $10,000 is divided up to 4 years, right? And then each year, right, you're gonna get 2,500, and then 2,500 is gonna be divided up into 12, right? So that's what, like $200, $250 a month. I don't know if I calculated that right. Let me just double check. 4 divided by 10K divided by 4 divided by 12. $208, right? It's going to be $208 a month, right? Within your time, not right away, most likely after you finish your A school. And then obviously on top of that, that's going to be taxed. So really, you're not really seeing a whole lot of it. Devin R, investing and learning to save money. Okay. I'm contemplating, right, whether I should come out with like a 1-hour series of like how I invested. It just takes so much amount of work. I was either thinking like, do I want to sell this on a course later on? Because like I spent right about 20 grand, right, learning how to grow businesses, learning how to invest, like they all time here to learn that by myself. And I was thinking, a part of me is thinking like if I should just later on create a course and just cover that topic of exactly how to invest. And I like the way I can explain it, right? It's going to be so much clearer than anybody else that's doing it on YouTube, because nobody else has been able to explain it the way I understand it, and I understand it at a very high level, with a very high level of clarity. But then again, I kind of want to make it a free type of content value. I might end up making it free. It's just going to take so much time for me to actually, like I said, it's going to be like a 1-hour explanation video. I'll try to work on it this weekend. But yeah, that's going to cover investing into a more into detail, right? And at the same time, like it's going to be funny because now a lot of people are going to take that video serious because, and here's the funny thing with people, right? Like when you get something for free, like there's a lot of like legitimately good content out there on YouTube about learning how to invest. You know, like I said, I spent, $20,000 into my own education, and like some of the information, like a lot of it overlap, right, with the information that's on YouTube. But the funny part is, right, when people actually pay an insane amount of money out of their own pocket, it shows two things: commitment, and number two, they actually take it a lot more serious, right? Like for me, like I invested $7,500 to learn from Jeremy from Financial Education and his millionaire coaches, right? Like I took it a lot more serious. I took it a lot more committed. As a result, I was able to get the level of results that I have, and I'm happy with it. I got the $7,500 back and a lot more. And then when I went through courses, like it's very similar to what's out there already. It's not, there's so much more to it, but it's not like there's no secret. Like I said, like if you want to learn how to invest, like do the work, right? Like this is the work, right? Like actually reading through, understanding companies at a very high level. Like that's the work that people don't want to do, right? Like for example, like Coca-Cola company. Like, do you actually know how Coca-Cola, makes their money? They don't make their money by selling cans of Coca-Cola, right? They just pawn that off into other companies that do that for them, and they just license that ownership, the brand rights out, and they sell like syrups, like fountain syrups, different syrups to different places in the world, and that company is in charge of like a specific region, and they just have partnerships with them. Right? They can sever the ties anytime that they want. Similar to like Amazon delivery, like there was a whole thing with Amazon delivery workers and stuff recently. Like it's similar to that structure. Um, keep that system business. Yeah. That's kind of what it reminded me. Like when I read like Coca-Cola's 10K, like I went through like Disney's 10K at a very high level enough to know like people think Disney is just like a Disney park, and then now people understand like Disney Plus, but there's so much more to Disney as a company that people just don't really understand. Like they literally have billions of dollars invested into DraftKings, right? Like maybe in the future they're gonna own DraftKings, right? They have ESPN, right? They have like 10 different news networks, right? Like Disneyland Tokyo, Disneyland Paris, Disney resorts in Hawaii, Disney in Singapore, Disney in China. They own all that, right? They own a good portion of it, but the majority ownership is owned by the government over there, right? In the other places, like they don't own those places. And so, like when you start getting into the nitty gritty, understanding the business, understanding the risk factors, like that's the essence of investing that people don't really do. People just want to watch YouTube videos of people who don't really know how to invest. That just, it's like a blind leading the blind type of situation. Like whenever I see some like YouTube video content creators, some of these creators are big too, right? Like I've seen like YouTube creators with like hundreds of thousands of followings, and they make a video about investing in the stock market, and they have no clue about investing in the stock market, because like in the video they'll say like, oh man, I put so much work into this, this is going to provide so much value, and then like here's me with $20,000 investing education. I go in and watch this video, it's like, what are you talking about? Like, and you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of views. People like think this is high level content. Clearly this guy has no clue what he's talking about. Like it's actually bonkers. Like that like astonished me. Like the amount of misinformation in regards to investing out there, blind leading the blind. It's huge. It's huge. Um, and so you have to be very, very careful, like who you consume information from when it comes to investing. Um, and so the only person that I would personally recommend, right, learning from, like how to invest as of right now, would probably be Jeremy from Financial Education, because that's the only guy that I found to be the most credible in terms of knowing what he's doing. And other than like the other successful investors out there, like Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, and some of these other guys, they have good principles. But yeah, a lot of the man, only if you guys knew. Simon, what's up, dude? You kind of came in at the end of it, Simon. There's 4 minutes left to this live here. I'm only making it 1 hour. Just got back from PRT. Okay. Doing these lives Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Making myself as much as I can available each day to help you guys, right, with your financial journey, whether it's me sharing my experience, whether I share with you guys my experience, how I went from $200 for no investing knowledge, no business knowledge, to $200K, running a business, working with a startup. And so that's kind of what my whole YouTube channel is about. Because I don't remember seeing you before, Simon. So nice to meet you. But always miss your lives. Well, see, you'll know, right? How much will it cost you to snort powdered toenails, firecracker? Probably nothing. In terms of, hold on, let me take that back. When I say nothing, right, it means, right, I'm not doing it, right? Like I'm not doing it for nothing. I'm not doing it, right? Like if somebody offered me like $1 million, like a lottery or something like that, like I'm not taking it, right? Like it's just not worth it for me to take $1 million, even if it's like for free, like for a lottery. It's not worth it, because then that takes the fun out of me actually being able to accomplish that by myself. David Pang, what's up, dude? I'm doing all right. Had a pretty good live session this morning. Earlier in the live, had a pretty good live session. A lot of people came through. David, you kind of came in a little bit late, but I'm doing well, man. Like right after this, gonna get some dinner, and then I had to reach out to right about 200 clients. I got a lot more work to do, and I have a team meeting at 8 o'clock. And after that, probably close out, work on editing some YouTube videos so I can post it sometime in the near future, and take some Grant Cardone University courses, and or Sean Cannell's courses. So we'll see what I decide to do. Supply Gang, I'm sure to catch the next one live. Have a nice one. All right, man. You too, dude. All right, guys. Well, I'm closing it out here. So if you have any final question, you guys got 5 seconds. Did you finish text? No. The book I've skimmed through. Right now, I'm actually taking his Cardone U. So through his Cardone University stuff. So I haven't gotten too far in it because it's actually a lot of stuff. But yeah, I've skimmed through like his 10x and some of his other stuff before you leave. I'll pass on that, firecracker. And unfortunately, I'll have to remove you from the chats. All right, David, have a good one, guys. Thanks for stopping by here. To the 5 of you, right? Remember to press the like button. Helps me out a lot with the channel. And catch you guys tomorrow. See ya.